because it
Oh,
was supposed to be there Saturday.
what's that?
Because it was supposed to be here Saturday, so it went to his sister's.
Oh gosh. Well,
Hold on a second.
Okay.
She checked everything. She still thinks she doesn't have it. And then she said, didn't he say he went to a coffee shop? I'm like, oh, like maybe it's in the car or left.
Oh, I think it is in the car. Shit. Yeah.
You got the keys? I can check.
They're in my pants pocket.
Okay, come.
Are you sitting there without pants on?
No, I'm in shorts actually, but they're in my walking pants pocket.
Oh.
I just got back from a dog walk in the desert.
Oh gosh, wow. So your sister's not at the same house that you're at?
His sister.
Yeah.
His sister lives here.
In a different house.
Yeah. Her family lives. Yeah.
Oh.
This is his parents' condo that they've had for like 25 years.
Yeah.
His sister and her family moved to Tucson in 2019.
Oh, I did. Okay. I guess I didn't realize that there were two different homes there.
Yeah.
So why did they send it to his sister? Because you weren't going to be there on Saturday.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
it was supposed to be overnighted, and it even had the Saturday delivery stickers all over it when it got here, but they didn't pick up. They didn't do their Hancock pickup on Friday like they were supposed to.
Ugh.
Of course, I think they paid like $150 or something to get it here. So
Wait a minute. It was at the Hancock building?
Yeah, his office. Yeah.
I thought it was in. I thought it was in.
He left it at his office. I picked him up at his office to leave, and he packed up and left it sitting on the desk.
Okay. I just want to show you a property that I just as I was waiting for you. Never mind, forget it. I'm not going to do that. It was a Greystone vintage mansion that's come up on the market over at 512 Oakdale. Joanne Nemorowski just sent out an email just before I got on the call with you, and oh my God, it looks so gorgeous. It's on a 40 by 140 lot in 512 Oakdale. Let me see. No. Okay, never mind. I don't know how to do it on Zoom. I know how to do it on Google Meet. I don't know how to do it on Zoom. So never mind.
What are you trying to show me though? What is it?
Yeah, I was trying to show you the listing. I've got it up on, I pulled it up off the Compass platform. I was just gonna scroll through some of the photos because if you love vintage, it is like an amazing vintage, Victorian Greystone.
That's cool.
Yeah. I had some clients. I was just thinking to myself that if people are waiting till after Super Bowl for spring market to begin, they're really missing the market because, oh my gosh, I was out with a buyer on Saturday. We went to a few open houses. The one, I think it was a little underpriced actually. They had it was $1.1 million, priced at $1.1 million. They had people. I mean, it was like a nonstop, feeding frenzy through there. Not quite like it had been last year where people were like standing up around the block waiting to get in. It wasn't like that, but there were so many people through there. And I had a text from the listing agent early Sunday morning asking if my people were going to make an offer on it because she had multiple offers already. And she was going to present offers at noon. So if we were going to submit, she needed to know. Well, my people actually ended up finding something else. But I think our spring market is starting to really rev up. Now I'm looking at a property behind you that looks very prairie style. What is that?
That is the gym.
Oh, wow.
That's the exercise room.
Oh,
Pool's over there.
So what's the temperature there?
It's like cool in the mornings and evenings, but it's like in the 70s during the midday. Right now it's still coolish, but It's an hour earlier here, but it's 57 right now. It gets up about 70.
I was going to say it probably gets down to the 30s or 40s at night, right?
Yeah, it does.
That's
but,
a really beautiful tree behind you. Is that a mesquite that's behind you? What is that tree?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And we had a bobcat out here yesterday.
Ooh.
The javelinas were on the patio when we got here on Sunday. Yesterday there was a bobcat.
The bobcat was hunting the javelinas.
Maybe. Yeah. they're pretty formidable though.
Yeah, bobcats. Yeah, I would think.
Well, I met the javelinas too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's like 40, 50 degrees here though feels different than 40 or 50 degrees in Chicago.
No, it has been so humid here. The humidity here is crazy. So
yeah, the dry cool is just a lot different. Really 40 degrees here feels more like 55 or 60 there like what would 55 or 60 in Chicago would feel like to me.
Well, when it's 40 degrees that spring, or like we've had like in December and January, and it's like 70% humidity, and it's like you just cannot get warm. I mean, it doesn't matter how many layers you put on; it's like you cannot get warm.
Yeah.
So no, I know that. So you got there Sunday night, right?
In the afternoon, we got in. We met my nephew. We kind of come through downtown Tucson to get here. This is, you have to come in from the south because you go around the mountains. And we're in Oro Valley, which is about 20, 30 minutes north of downtown. And so we met my nephew Reed for lunch, like about 2:15, 2:30. So we got in pretty decent hour. And we're able to sit outside and have lunch with him and all. Yeah.
Now, so this is your sister's son.
Mm-hmm. He's at U of A. Yeah.
Oh, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Wow. So both sides of the family are and you guys are going to move there, right?
Oh, no, we're not moving here. We'd like to use the place more often, though. So we're kind of fixing it up a little and getting all our,
And do you still share that with Stump's siblings? Because
whoever wants to come, Michelle's mom and dad are the only other ones that really use it. His sister, the one sister lives here already, and the other one used to come a lot, but she doesn't really come anymore. She hasn't been here in years, and so it's really just us, and his dad doesn't come anymore either. So it's really just us and his one sister and brother-in-law. Yeah. There are some people that are some friends of his sister that lives here are gonna rent it in between us leaving, and because they just sold their house. They're actually moving to Peoria, and the husband works for Caterpillar. So anyway, he's moving. They're moving to Peoria, and they just sold their house, and the kids aren't done with school. They're actually going to rent the place for a little while in between us.
How is the market there?
I haven't really had a chance to look into it since we were here. We were here in November 2020. We haven't been back then, so a little over 2 years. I've heard that like most of the country, it really took off, during late 2020 or, during 2021. So I'm curious, there's some little developments right around here up the street that we really liked. And we had looked at pricing and stuff just to see what it was last time. So I'm going to check it out just to see what has the increase been, in these 2 years and 2 months since we were here. It'll be interesting to see, but my guess is it's a pretty significant jump.
Yeah, I would guess. I think a lot of Southern California people priced out of that market
there's a lot of Californians here, and a lot of Pacific Northwestern US and Canadians. That spend time.
Actually, I just had a client. We sold his condo here in Des Plaines, and he's been down in Ensenada, Mexico, which is probably, I don't know, maybe 30 miles south of Tijuana, on the Baja Peninsula. There's a lot of American and Canadian expats that move there. I'm not sure how you get there because I was trying to find out how he was having real phone problems and whatnot. So he was talking about driving up to San Diego, but I think it's a hub, just not that it's so far, but because of the
But
road.
you have to drive on and around and all that.
Right. Yeah, right. So it might actually.
Yeah, there is. I don't know if you can see. Can you see the mountains through there?
Kinda, yeah. It looks like a kind of a shadow in the background, but yeah.
Yeah. So there's Mount Lemmon is right behind that, and it's kind of directly across from us. So when I go to the store in the morning, it's right in front of those. It's right at the bottom of those mountains, so it's not very far. It's driving it's 8 minutes or whatever, and you're at the bottom of the mountain. And Mount Lemmon, we're going to go to either this weekend or next weekend with my nephew. Is behind that. It's kind of like a ski area up there, and there's a town that we're going to go to called Winter Haven. But it takes like an hour and 45 minutes to get there because you have to go down the downtown Tucson and around the mountains and then up. And we could practically see it from here, but yeah, it's kind of, and getting to Tucson is a lot like that too, because you have to dip all the way down to like Las Cruces, El Paso, follow the Mexican border, to get around the mountains and then come back up. So that's why you come in from the south. And we have, even though we're north toward Phoenix, yeah, the same thing, because Phoenix is north but west of here, you'd have to go around and then down and back. So it's blocked off by the mountains. So I'm sure it's very similar in Baja that, you've got stuff, not only, 2-lane roads and that aren't great and can't go really fast, but there's probably a lot of geography you've got to get around.
Right. But anyway, he was there in most of February, and they had all that cold weather. Well, they had all the rain and all the cold weather in California, remember? And they call it, what did they call it? They called it some kind of environmental river. No.
Oh, the
what did they call it?
Like atmospheric river or something like that.
Atmospheric river, yeah, because they had so much rain, and apparently that stretched all the way down to where he was in Mexico. And, he was at a hotel that had no heat, and so he moved across the street or whatever to another hotel, a newer hotel that did have heat. It had apparently, how the hotels have those PTAC units in them, and but they didn't know how to turn it on. They had to get the building engineer to come up, and I guess there was all this trying to figure out how to turn the heat on because they just never.
They're not used to that,
right?
They're not used to the rain either, I'm sure.
I know, right?
Not like that. Yeah.
So it's pretty amazing. But the other thing, I don't know if I should mention this, but did you happen to watch the State of the Union last night?
No.
I thought he talked a long time. He talked for like an hour, and it was like an hour and 20 minutes or something. But listening to him speak, I was reminded, because he does a lot of he kind of fumbles his words or whatever. And and he did a fair amount of that last night. And I was reminded that he actually had to overcome a stutter he was a stutterer as a child. So when you take that into consideration, it's kind of amazing that he's able to now be a public speaker and speak in front of millions of people. But he was very conciliatory, congratulated Kevin McCarthy on his speakership, which, Kevin got it done.
Not easily.
I didn't make it easy for him, but he got it done. But it was interesting. I thought he did a nice job, and of course I don't know why the stuttering reminded me of this, but did you happen to see the Cranes article? I think it was last night, about the guy that used to own Braintree, that he started in Chicago, the startup from Chicago. No.
He's a very wealthy guy. That he was one of Crane's 30 under 30 back in 2011. And then in 2013, he sold Braintree, which is like, it was like a payment system, to eBay for $800 million.
Wow.
And then he started another company. Well, now he's 43 and he has set out to, I'm not sure if prove this theory or check this theory or whatever is what the right terminology is, but he has a team of like 30 doctors, and he is attempting to revert his entire body, all of his systems and organs, to an 18-year-old. And he has this strict like vegan diet, timing, like all of these tests and stuff. He's there, and it's everything from like all of his organs to his skin, his eyes, his like you know, genitals, everything, and to an 18-year-old's, and is already making all this progress. And was it his skin or eyes or what was like already to 18? And other things are like 5 years improved,
so
8 years improved.
what's the business? The business is
It's not a business. I mean, the company he owns, they make these helmets that are like $50,000 a piece, and they measure the effects of meditation and medications and other nootropics on pain relief. And so all these people buy them to test all different sorts of methods to relieve pain. So, but it's got nothing to do with that. It's just his personal passion, and he believes that we don't have to age the way that we do, that we take that for granted, and it's not really true. And so he's, in his mid 40s now, set out to show that he can reverse that aging process. One of the interesting things was they do these,
no glasses for him then.
Yeah, and they're doing this audio therapy, and he listens to these tones, and they find the edge of tones that he can't hear, and it emits these tones, and the cells in the ear stretch to hear it. So it improves the hearing by just teasing the system and the cells into like them improving themselves to actually hear the audio. Isn't that interesting?
Oh my gosh. Well, it kind of makes sense. It's just a muscle, I guess, basically, essentially.
Yeah. And they're just training it.
Huh. So what did he sell his company for? How many million?
800 million. Yeah.
So I guess he's got enough.
And he's spending it's costing him about $1 million a year for his team. So it's not like it's not breaking the bank for him or anything.
No kidding, right? I remember when Michael Jordan was always in the news, and of course he made, I don't know how much money he made, but and everybody was so outraged because he'd go to Vegas and he'd bet, have a $10,000 bet or something. And it's like, that's $10,000 to Michael Jordan. I mean, it's like nothing, right? It probably has to be a $10,000 bet to make it exciting.
At least, yeah.
Right?
That's probably the kind of bet he's like sitting in the living room with his friends. I bet you can't make it in that basket over there with the napkin or something. It's like, I bet you $10,000.
Exactly.
But you can't finish that plate of fries sitting right there.
Well, they say that, and actually, I have a friend who was somehow involved in this, but I don't know what it is. She's trying to get me to come to it's some kind of network marketing thing or something. And I think that there's probably something to it, but probably not under a network marketing model, I suspect, right? Vitamins or whatever that you take,
yeah, this guy's on a lot of that. I think they said in the morning he takes like 3 dozen sorts of vitamins and minerals and stuff. He's on a strict vegan diet. I'm sure it's like very strict. He has to go to bed at exactly the same time. He gets up at 5 a.m. There is an hour of exercise, and then 3 times a week there's like high intensity exercise. But I don't know. It's just kind of fascinating that.
So this was in this Cranes article you saw this morning, and what is his
No,
name?
it was last night. It was last night.
And what's his name again? I'm gonna have to dig this
I don't remember. I think it's something Johnson. It was in one of the Cranes like alerts last night.
Well, you
Yesterday
know,
afternoon.
Cranes is we'll probably get the alert a half a dozen times before they stop telling us about
Depends
it.
on how many people open it or don't open it. Yeah.
Oh, is that what it depends on? Huh, interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that. That's really interesting. But you know, and I've often thought to myself, for instance, when you have like you know, a scar, let's say, but they say that your body completely replaces every cell in its body, like every, I don't know, whatever it is, 2 years or 5 years, whatever it is. That so basically, if you have a scar that's 20 years old, you know what that means is that somehow the
information
has passed to new cells, right? I mean, and it's interesting because the scar will fade, obviously, so it doesn't pass perfectly.
So I remember when I was a kid in high school science class, and they were talking about the molecules and how they're not, you know, nothing is solid. You know, it's all and so I had this question for the teacher, and it's still to this day perplexes me, but I think it's somewhat related to what you're talking about. And I said, well, if this piece of paper I have is just molecules bouncing around, and when I fold it, increase it, that it won't go back to how it was. You know, and she attempted to explain it, but I don't believe she understood it herself.
Yeah, she probably like, yeah, why doesn't it go back?
yeah. But I think it was related to that the elasticity or whatever is related to the information that like it's been told, okay, now we go this way or something like that. Now we vibrate this way. But it wasn't a very satisfactory explanation. But I do believe it's somewhat related to what you're talking about the cells working the same way. Yeah. And that information is now here's what we're like, you know, here's what our cells are now like. We're like this scar, you know. So, but I don't know.
All right. So if somebody could get the answer to that, email it.
We're just real estate agents. What do we know?
What do we know? If somebody knows the answer to this, send it over to us, and then next week we will read your answer and give you credit.
Give you credit.
So on that happy note, we will see you next Monday, right? You're all set up now. You're all operating.
I believe so.
We'll get back under our normal time, and we'll see you next Monday.
All right. Have a good week.